Confidential. Security clearance. POTUS or above. Dated December 2nd, 1988. Interviewee General Cornelius Watson. Interviewer John R. Simpson, head of the Secret Service. What follows is a transcript of their conversation. To start from the beginning, General, everything you said before, say again. We need to have a record of this. Okay. I've known this secret for far too long, and it needs to be told. Maybe we can do something. There is a number of events throughout history that had always been assumed to be accidents or unexplained. Isn't that right? That's right. Sometimes incurring massive loss of life. These events are all linked. There will be behind them. It dates back to the 19th century. Would you believe me if I told you that the first contact took place back then? Towards the end of that century, extraterrestrials attempt to contact with our president? What happened? It was a clusterfuck for everyone involved. I mean, you can understand their logic. Take us to your leader and all that. But they planted their damn ship right on the White House lawn unannounced in the middle of the night. The Secret Service agents had no information or understanding, so defaulted to shoot now. Apologize later. They killed them all? Not quite. One of them, what we understand to be the ambassador now, struggled back into the ship. He took off, and that was the beginning of the end. We seized the technology, but had no clue as to its design or how to reverse the engineer it. Over the last 100 years, we have been able to take apart and utilize the parts. This one event is directly responsible for the discovery of the microchip and everything related to it. Without it, we could still be living in the 30s. Hell, the tech showed us how to split the atom. And what was that thought of to be at the end of it? We weren't stupid enough to not expect a reprisal, but we were fully willing to apologize after releasing that it was meant to be a stupid meeting of peace and of alliance. Think of where our society would be now if those agents hadn't opened fire, but none of us were prepared for what happened next. Tunguska? The only reason we know it was international is because the signal broadcast in seconds beforehand, depicting the countdown in binary. The science guys always said that the numbers would be universal language. It was a weapon, a warning shot of more to follow. A single missile detonated 7 km above the surface of the Earth was enough to flatten trees for 2,000 square kilometers. What we soon learned about this race was that they were very long-lived, with lifespans in thousands of years. They had all the time in the world to analyze and pick their targets. The next attack came without warning and inadvertently helped us. See, this race have evolved past countries or politics and assumed our planet was a single nation. They thought an attack part of us was an attack on all of us. So they attacked Japan, Hiroshima to be exact. What could we do? We could admit that for 50 years we had been hiding the existence of aliens, or claim that the attack was ours and we were capable of yet more attacks. The fear of that weapon has held us back in check for decades after. Did the Japanese know? After the end of the war, they were brought in for confidence, and we were able to pool our resources along with other countries. England was battered and bruised from World War II, but those limeys were too stubborn to say no, and even Russia jumped on board. What did you have planned? What we could have planned for? We almost had no information on the enemy past what that initial contact told us, and they could rain fire from the heavens. The breakthrough came when we finally perfect our nukes we needed to defend ourselves, but someone would have noticed a huge stockpile of weapons with no clear intention. God bless Russia. They were the ones who came up with the idea of the Cold War, a period sustained hostiles where we could arm our essentials without too much concern. The Cold War was fake? Of course, Why would we need enough nukes to blow up the planet 100 times? Because they were never intended to use on Earth. Working with the designers of the V-2 missiles and the lesser-known V-3 cannon, the nukes were designed for high-orbit defenses against any and all threats. The EMP alone made them formidable in space. The Russians were actually allies. They were crippled with their own economy just to try and make sure that the world was safe. Everything about that conflict was staged, from the Andamans to the concentration to the Cuban Missile Crisis. All distractions was said we went about business of protecting the world. So what is happening now? Well, they changed the goddamn rules, didn't they? They have worked out on how to detonate our nuclear power plants from orbit with no missiles or sign of intervention. 2 years ago, we had a Chernobyl, and that was a new show of force, and a sign that wiping us out is not enough. These creatures view us as little above vermin and in need of punishment. We worked out on how to jam that damn wavelength they were using to mess with the half-lives of radioactive material, but it was just another step in the insane intergalactic arms race. So where to go from here? I don't know. Everything has gone quiet, but this often is a sign of calm before the storm. I'm bracing myself for something far worse. You should too. The above interview was classified and archived, but recently has been read by a number of individuals within the United States government. This number peaked shortly after this 26th of December 2004, the date of the Indian Ocean tsunami. No one within the government is willing to comment at this time.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.